Hello and welcome back to the ConneXion podcast. Thank you so much for your reactions on the first episode, and today's episode is going to be focusing on elevation, or the art of redefining success on your own terms. So when you talk about elevation, it's like is stepping into that arena of redefining who you want to be, is authoring your life. Is like moving away from external societal or inherited definition of what success should be to you, and rather align yourself with personal values, your passions, and your goals. And you're really going to be diving into what that should look like. And so at the first step is like to reflect on your core values. Do you know what are your core values? Do you know the values that guide your life? You have really to sit and say, what are the most important values to me? Not necessarily my family or my partners or my siblings, just my personal values. Is it freedom? Is it creativity? Is it family? Is it growth? Is it impact? Is it wealth? You really have to sit and make that definition for you if you want to redefine success on your own terms. For instance, you can say one of my core values is family. If family is one of your core values, you might say, I want to be spending much more intentional time with my family. And that is how I'm living this value. It can be creativity. If it's creativity that matters the most to you, can you please engage into much more artistic projects regardless of the monetary rewards, for instance? How do you live that creativity as a value? And then the second step becomes to define success holistically. It cannot just be one area and leave out the others. It has to be components like health, relationship, personal growth, career, money creation. It can be saving, can be how you relate to the world or how you contribute to the world. And you have to go on and write down a few goals, 1 to 2. It can be goals, metrics of success in those particular area. Usually they say there are 12 areas of life that you have to look into. It's sometimes romantic relationship. It's money creation, is spirituality, is health, is how you focus on your career development or your career goals. Really, find those areas and start planning for them. So for instance, if we take the example of health, it can be something like feeling energized and balanced and fit, not necessarily focusing on achieving a certain particular weight. If it's a relationship, you can say, cultivating more meaningful connections, not just having a large number of friends or large social network, but say, I want to have very meaningful connections and relationship, even if just 1 or 5 people. It can be career, it can be designing a career with a purpose, even if it's not going at the top of the corporate ladder, or it can be being there. It's really what you want to achieve. It can be money. If money is your value in that particular period, you can say, I'm going to spend the next 3-5 years just focusing on creating wealth. And once you are living that value, then you really know who to associate yourself with, what to do, what not to do, how to spend and utilize your time, and what you can prioritize. And another key important step is revisiting and releasing external expectations. And this is so important in African societies, where our families feel like they know who we should be, or what we should be doing, or who we should marry, or who we should hang out with, or where we should work, and which industry we should be contributing to. So because we have this very family-oriented type of society here in Africa, you realize that the tendency is for people to set expectation on who you should be. And the rare is the time when people say, what, these expectations do not define how I want to define myself and my life. I'm going to respect that these people are operating from a place of love, but I still have the freedom and the time to create the life that I want. So once you revisit this expectation, then one of the key questions you have to ask yourself is, am I living life basing on my own expectation, or whose expectation am I trying to meet? So usually it's the people who have influence on us, starting with the parents, and the people who we feel like love us the most. They do have that deep impact and influence on us, and that's how we walk towards saying, I respect their opinion, I respect their best wishes for me, but I do not maybe need that approval. And how do you start worrying a little bit less about the judgment because they are going to judge you if they realize that you're not living up to their expectation. So that's really like a very, very important. So one of the examples can be, I feel that I need to release myself from the pressure of owning or having a big house. Maybe you can be living in a small house, but if it's cozy and gives you peace and it's clean and you feel like whenever you're home you feel so much at peace, that's enough. You don't have to have the same house as anyone else just because you feel like it's what the society is expecting from you. You have to like redefine that element of success for you as well. Another big component is to focus on progress, not perfection. So when you're defining success on your own terms, you have to know that you have to like, do one thing at a time. It's one step after the other. You can never achieve your entire life dream in just like 1 year or in just 6 months. You have to know that you have to start with small steps that are going to be leading you to small achievements, and then the sum total of all those achievements, you realize that you have acquired some experience, some expertise. Maybe it's a product that you were designing and some clients are buying it. You are securing client loyalty. You are making some revenues out of your product. What it is that you have to say, if I put this system in place, I'm making progress, even if it's not perfect, because you might never be able to achieve perfection. Sometimes perfection is an illusion, and make sure that success is like those small steps you are taking on a very regular, consistent base, not necessarily what you feel like you should have as the final destination. And make sure that those small wins are aligned with your new definition of success. So for instance, success can mean developing a new sustainable lifestyle, and by celebrating that, you say I'm reducing waste. Maybe I'm cooking much more plant-based meals, or you can be creating a success jar where you're going to be dropping small notes about your daily achievements, whether they are big or small. And then after a given time, you can say, okay, this is how I'm tracking progress. And if you go back to revisiting that jar, you can say, oh, these are the notes that I have written to myself, or actually I'm making good progress, and then celebrating that. And also you have to create a personal success statement. So for instance, for me, I know that my personal success statement is that success is to live authentically. For people who know me well, they do know that I live very authentically. It's also like I'm making a positive impact in other people's lives. For people who know me well, again, they know that I try my best to impact other people. And also the final component of my personal success statement is a feeling at peace with my choices. I try to make good choices that I feel are enhancing my life, not as my parents expect or the people that I am connected with expect. But for you, it can mean success, growing every day and staying true to your value, irrespective of the outcome. Really can make sure that you know what is your success statement, what makes you come alive. And prioritize what fills your soul. Sometimes people say, but I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know what I should be becoming. Just like I listen to your heart. Your heart knows what makes you happy. And start scheduling activities that make you come alive and fulfilled, even if they don't fit in the traditional definition of what productivity should mean. So it can be painting, it can be hiking. For instance, I have a friend who loves hiking. It can be spending quality time with your family. Make sure that it's up to you to define what that means. And once you have that track of real happy moments, you end up realizing that actually you have a very happy and successful life. And then set your personal goals and not competitive goals. So one of the key issues that we face again as a community in general is we are trying to always compare ourselves to other people, and that brings in an element of unhealthy competitiveness that we don't need. Make sure that when you're setting goals, you're not setting them based on what your brother has achieved, what your colleagues has achieved. You don't know what they are really working towards, where they come from. Maybe but you don't intimately have that under belt. Just make sure that you are defining goals that mean something tangible for you, not for the people around you, not in comparison to the people around you. And then redefine failure as growth. Say, you know, I failed the first time, and these are the learnings that I'm getting out of this. Sometimes when we fail, we tend to say, you know, I'm going to criticize myself, I'm going to, you know, stop doing it, other people are making fun of me. Then the element of shame and self-blame comes in. Make sure that, you know, failure is redefined as growth. And then also make sure that you take time to celebrate intangible achievements. So for instance, if today you listen to your intuition and you're able to make the right decision for the moment, make sure that you're celebrating that as well. It's not how much money you've made. It's not like, you know, what other tangible things you've achieved. Those are great as well. But make sure that you're also celebrating the human you are, the character you've built, that is leading you to better and better decisions that are really connecting to who you are designing yourself to be. And the final invitation is to seek role models and diverse success stories, to say, you know, who are the people who embody the story that I want to live, and start imitating them in a very good way. Start copying their habits, start seeking them as mentors if they are in the same area as you. You know, start really learning from them. What are some of the systems that I have put in place to be successful, and allow them to inspire your success path. Really, don't feel like you have to figure it out alone. There are other people who have achieved it before you, and they can be your source of inspiration, right? So please let me know what you think. Add more tips that we can continue to expand our knowledge together. And thank you so much for your kind attention and your presence here. Let's continue building these engaging moments together. And until next time, take care of yourself, and please define success on your own terms.